We are here and ready and have been looking forward to this exchange. Let's begin.
I have a question, and that is very important to me to know what's going on in the world because all started to trigger within me a lot of stuff since I went to South America, Chile. Because of the amount of censorship and injustice in the country and the manipulation by the media because of the contradiction that I could perceive. This is a lot of concern within my heart because people hear only one narrative that instills so much fear in them. A lot of sadness come to me.
There is a large, very comprehensive process that humanity is undergoing, and it involves a lot of expansion in the long term, but it can feel like contraction in the short term. The feelings that you say are triggered by what you have experienced are feelings that have been buried deep for a long time. And that is not just the case for you, it is the case for the majority of humanity. The situations that are currently happening in different countries around the world and in the world as a whole are actually direct replication mirror effects of the inside state of the collective of most humans. The reality is that many of you have lived with a level of insecurity and fear that you are able to disguise or distract yourself from. And what has occurred in the last 12 months and longer is bringing up of all of those things. There are many of you that wish that things would change dramatically. There are many of you that wish that you could stop doing things that you were doing that you did not wish to do. There are many factors that are being brought to the surface right now. And it can, in some ways, be felt as very difficult in the immediate experience. But the long-term plan, the long-term expansion that is available, the long-term vision that we hold for you is indeed a moving away from the giving of your own power to external sources that you deem more powerful than you and reclaiming them for yourself. That necessitates the looking at the ways in which you have given your power away in the past. And that is why you feel so deeply as you look at things that you consider manipulation and suppression. There have been ways that you all have been manipulating and suppressing yourself in the internal aspects of your inner world. And as you begin to look at those, as well as the things that are outside of you that are showing you the patterns that are present within you, you feel it. You feel it. That does not mean that the situation is hopeless, either with yourself personally or with the world in general. There is a lot of hope and possibility for expansion. But in order to really allow and facilitate and foster the expansion that is available, there is a need to do some inner spring cleaning for each of you as individuals, as well as for you as the collective on the whole. And the first step in that is becoming aware of what is present. And the first step in that is seeing it. It is being shown to you now.
Wow. Thank you. Thank you. Because at moments it looked so dark, especially when I was there. It's different now that I came to USA, feel more expansive here. There is so much restriction in all ways and the way people think, so much fear. But thank you so much. That clarifies because it's coming a moment where it's so much that you think, oh, this will ever going to end? What else I can do, how I can help? But I know inner work is the answer. Thank you so much.
Inner work is the answer. Inner work is the answer. Inner work is the answer. And the reason for that isn't because you are not caring about others. But one of the things that needs to change for humanity to move forward to what is possible is a recalibration of your feeling of responsibility so that you once again reclaim responsibility for the things that you are actually responsible for, and you release the responsibility for the things that you are not responsible for. You, as a human being, are not responsible for what is happening in governments and in the media in other countries. You cannot feel responsible for that, something that you cannot directly impact and feel powerful and strong. You are powerful and strong. But as you take your focus to the parts that you can influence, the parts where you actually have got creative power, which is within the self, within the self, within the self. And what happens then is the changes that you create within your inner world get mirrored to you by the outer world. The process of you being a conscious creator has got nothing to do with you trying to dominate the universe or force it into a configuration. That is not creation. That is bullying. That is dominance. That is not the energy and the vibration of expansion. But when you relax and when you do the inner work and then you change the inner configuration of you, you are shown that back at you in the physical reality. That is how you become a conscious creator, not by forcing the outer world to change, not even by forcing the inner world to change, because force implies dominance, and that is not creation. Creation is influence, allowing, intention, and powerful flow. So as you do the inner work, you create the energetics that will attract the match. That is how you create in the outer world. Never by force, never by bullying, never by dominating either the outer world or the aspects of you that you feel are standing in the way of your own expansion.
Wow, that is amazing. Yeah, that's really, I feel a sense of relief because that was my next question. My next question is, hey, I'm doing this for such a long time. How in the world this becomes so bad? You know, what did I do wrong? Kind of. It's like I blame myself.
There is nothing ever wrong. But if there was such a thing as wrong, it would be the attitude that you are being punished or that you are not doing well enough. That can never be the case. The universe is carefully calibrated and you are following your impulses. And yes, there are truths that there are some ways in which you could expand more, but that does not make your present circumstance bad or wrong. You are not wrong. You are not bad. You are not good enough. You are the exact opposite of all of those things. And being a conscious creator is something that many of you are trying to embrace. And rather than embracing the actual power of your inner world to attract what you want, what you are doing is trying to beat yourself into submission, beat yourself into doing better, and trying to beat the universe to be in the configuration that you wish it to be. You can't feel expansive and joyful from that state. And ultimately, that is what you want.
Wow. Thank you. Thank you so much. In the same line of question, I wanted to know how I could serve better because I know my days are very important here. Since I have less days, you know, like I say 20 max. So I wanted to use it. And because I have a lot of talent in what I do, I wanted to know what is the best way that I can help better or what else I can do better. Because I'm doing a little bit of everything, it's like I do not concentrate all my energy in something that can be meaningful, but maybe all meaningful because it's all kind of people come in my way that I can assist. So also the other thing that I love is like empower women for the same experience that I went through, that I already experienced, and I can assist them to female leadership, how we can lead others with love, heart center.
We are very glad that this is where your words and your energy have led you, being a leader and being heart-centered. So when you ask how you can have a greater impact, the underlying energetics of your question are actually, how can I do better? And how can I do better is the exact impediment to you doing better, because it isn't about better. It is about being heart-centered in your leadership of yourself. And that is why you are called so strongly to helping women to be leaders that are connected to their heart space. It is because that is what your soul craves. Correction, your soul craves nothing. That is what aspects of you crave. Your soul is expansive and knows that you deserve all of the things already. It craves nothing, but it wishes for you to feel connected to the expansive nature of it and of you, the nature that you share. And so when you think that I could be doing more, I could be helping more, you are falling back into the trap we mentioned earlier about misunderstanding what your responsibility is. You are not responsible for helping anybody. You are not responsible for helping anybody. That is not the same as saying turn your back on them and do not care. But when you carry the burden of responsibility, you contract your own energy and you make it serious. If, on the other hand, you are open to yourself and self-supportive and in a state of openness and love with self, and you see something that you could assist in, you will be inspired to that, and it will not come from obligation. It will come from inspiration. And that is the difference. You need to be following for the impact that you wish to create. You need to be following the expansive light feeling rather than the heavy feeling of I must, or I have an obligation, or I have a skill set that could help and therefore I am obliged. And then taking on responsibility for the life of another. That is never yours. That is never yours. But as you connect more deeply with yourself and lead yourself from a true heart-centered space, you will come from a place of fullness and inspiration in your helping. And the impact of helping from a place of inspiration rather than a place of obligation is incredibly different. That is why you feel dissatisfied, because you know that there is more impact to be had, but you simply cannot get there from a place of should. You get there from a place of aligned inspiration, openness, relaxation, self-acceptance, acceptance of the other, and flow. We love you. We love you. We love you. Go well.
Thank you. That's so amazing.
Oh, that ended kind of abruptly in the end.
Yeah, so beautiful. Thank you so much.
My pleasure. I'll just stop all the things.